crying little.
Yoga.
Team Life or Death. Let me hurry up and get the banner up here. Team Life or Death is in here tonight. How are you guys doing? Frank Gooden here. It's 8:37 p.m. on a Monday night after Christmas. I hope everybody had and enjoyed their Christmas holiday. Get all this straight right here. This is good stuff. Good stuff. So excited to have everybody here in the house. Let's see, just about everybody. Let me go down the list real quick. OG Patrice was first. Then Q made it up in here. Mike Benson. Derek in the house. Then Vaughn. Heart of Light Channel. That looks like Tony Poe, right? I think I did Vaughn. Sophia, what's happening? What's happening? Okay, you're gonna have to remind me. I'm trying to remember this. Raw Will gonna let me. I'm trying to remember. Chef, peace, love, and light. Nice, nice. Snosha in the house. I'm just going down, just doing the quick scan. I believe that might be almost everybody. Uncle Stu made it up in here. I'm about to drop the link. I'm about to get everybody up in here. I'm about to get us all up here. So good to see you. I have been grinding. So first, make sure you guys have a. I'm hoping you guys are having a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Hope you remember the reason for the season. And for me, I certainly have been, just taking as much of a break as I can, grinding, trying to get this right. This really, I think many of you have cued in now, and it's something that I really slow played it. This is really an effort, life or death, the story of life or death, what I'm trying to do, and sort of transitioning this graphic novel to what it's going to be with us. It's a serious labor of love. There's a lot that has to be done in the background to just do the best that I can, and to set us up as much as possible for success as a team. And right now I got my girls, so if you hear them in the background, apologies. They're excited, they're doing things as well. So you got the normal things, you got the Christmas stuff going on, and everything that goes along with it. So just want to wish everybody, all success, all glad tidings, good things, as we enter into 2022 together. Pray that this is going to be a blessed, successful year. Pray that all things negative, or things that don't hold you up, don't push you towards becoming better, or push you towards your goal, to fall away from you. And that that all things supportive and positive, and ultimately, all things towards, that's edifying to you, towards wherever you are spiritually. So I don't want to get too over the top with it, but I think everybody is kind of cueing in that this is what we're trying to do here together, is a positive thing. And we're trying to push positivity out. And on these YouTube streets, you all know it's treacherous out here. It's treacherous on these YouTube streets. So let's try to do some good, guys. Let's try to tell a good story here, and do the best that we can. Let me find this link. I'm going to drop this link and try to get some people up just to say what's happening, and to maybe even if you want to talk a little bit about what your break was like, as we prepare for what we're going to do. Now, just so you know, too, as I'm looking for the link here, I'm going to talk a lot about what the initial plans are, what my initial plans are and how we're going to move forward. But this is a group thing. So I'm going to want to listen to you all as much as I can, and try to incorporate, the things that you're doing as much as I can in terms of timing, for what we want to do. This is a group thing. And there's a lot that, I will be doing on my end, but there's also a lot that I'm going to ask of you. There's some things that I won't be able to do, that I'm going to need the team for. So let me drop this link. I believe I can get maybe 9 or 10 of you here. This link is for the cast members. We want to come up and talk about a lot of things related to the show, a lot of things related to the production. So, whenever you guys, if anybody wants to come up and just kind of join as we talk about everything, then by all means, come on up. And we got some people coming in the background now. And while I get all of us up here, whoever wants to join us, I'll talk about, I've been making some contacts with some interesting people, thanks to OG Patrice, that I'll be talking about a little bit later, who, this whole thing is all about, just connecting with like-minded people, press forward and move forward. And she has connected me with someone who is very like-minded as well. And I see a lot of synergy and a lot of just setting things up, things coming into place to help put what we're going to do into its proper place and to be as successful as it can be. All right, good stuff. So we got some people lining up. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Uncle Stu, OG Patrice, Q Love, Mike in the house, Vaughn. Let me change this up so we can do it like that. And also I will remove our Team Life or Death brand. So I brought up Uncle Stu first. I'll go ahead and Uncle Stu, how you doing, sir?
I am feeling wonderful. Feeling wonderful. Hello to everyone in the chat and on the panel. Yeah, I would say that this holiday is has been a little rough. It's been very rough, but we making it through. So we got over one big holiday, and it's going to be a rough. It's going to be. You got to remember, we had a major loss, so getting over that loss.
Do you want to talk about it at all, or not?
Yeah,
really?
I lost my son. I lost my stepson. November 11th. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So this is I mean,
yeah.
My heart breaks for you, brother.
I gotta push through regardless of the situation. Still got a house to run, and YouTube is my business, so I still got a business to run, and so we got to keep everybody positive and off the ground, and get it through regardless of anything that's going on. So I just got to push it through. But other than that, I mean, I'm happy. I'm now at 888 subscribers. Not that far away from 1,000. Trying to push better content out, trying to push higher elevation thinking out, and just keep it going.
Well, we're going to be praying for your strength. I guess I see what you're saying now. This is the first Christmas holiday without your son, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Push through that. Yeah.
I
hear you, brother. We're gonna pray your strength in that. And
those are the hardest.
You
seem to be. Those are the hardest. You seem to be strong and in good spirit, though. I miss my mother the most around Christmas.
Yeah, it's hard, but you gotta, you just gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, maybe that's that military part of me, So, you suck it up, you drive on, you keep going. You gotta live. Yeah, it's a lot harder on his mom, But again, you gotta look at it like this. That's somebody that carried for 9 months, so that was life that was in. It was a little different, and you can't compare the two. That's why I always say it's not a topic that anybody can do off the top of their intellectual mind. It got to be a topic that it has to have the experience behind it. If you don't have experience, you can't even begin to talk about it because sometimes
I have no idea.
Words. Yeah, exactly. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough for me. I'm particularly sensitive too in that way because if you ever get a chance, there's a documentary that I produced a while back called The 904 that was all about mothers who had lost their son, their children in various circumstances. And it's tough for me as someone who's never dealt with that as well. So I just want to send whatever I can in terms of prayers, praying your strength all the way through this as well. And looks like you're doing the right thing and just pushing through. And I know your faith in the Father is unshaken. So that's going to be a rock for you.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move forward and
I want everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
G had to shut some people down this morning. We good.
OG, what else are you talking about? OG, Patrice, what's happening?
Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Shout out to the panel in the chat. It's good to be here. I'm excited. I actually had a pretty relaxing weekend. I hope everyone had a good holiday weekend and they celebrated with family and friends and love and good food. And I'm just excited to be working with everyone that's on the panel and in the chat. I can't wait because I know life and death is going to be a great experience for all of us involved. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
And of course, we're glad to work with you as well. And we got a lot of people, so I'm going to roll through this to let everybody say what's happening. Q's up next here. Q, you want to say anything?
Yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays to you. And I don't even know what else to say. I just been trying to get back in my relaxation mode that I had this weekend. It was so rudely interrupted when my daughter stormed through and took half of my $68 bottle of Douce.
Okay.
I was saving that for weeks, just for the Christmas break.
Pain of father.
He didn't even open it.
Oh, you sound so heartbroken, man.
You got to talk to her about that.
Hey, Frank, do you want me to drop down? Because Courtney is trying to get in the back. Do you want me to drop down so she can get up?
No, I want you to hang back for now. And what I'll do is
Okay.
let's let everybody, because I see it's a few people trying to get in. Just hang tight, and I will cycle through as much as possible. I'll post the link again, and I'll figure out a way to cycle through. So, for now, let's let everybody just stay up for a little bit, and don't worry, I'll get everybody up. I might have to look for a way to increase the plan when I have parties like this, see if I can get more than 10 people up in here at the same time. Hey, Derek, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Peace and blessings to everybody. Hope everybody had a happy holiday. I sure did. It's always a blessing when you can get together with family and socialize and particularly eat, because food is my friend. So I'm still getting over all of that good eating I did. So that was the good thing. The bad thing is I had a bad football day. So, my team didn't do as well as I wanted to, but that's okay. Other than that, I'm excited. I can't wait to get started on this project so we can all utilize our voices. Yes.
Appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go through Sincere, probably right now our youngest member in the cast.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, happy holidays. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to the new year. I don't really know what else to say. I'm just filled with excitement, and I'm really, really, really ready to get started on this project.
Thank you. As we are. Vaughn.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I am blessed today. Today has this whole weekend has been great, spending it with family and, eating the good food. My wife did a tremendous job of preparing meals for everyone that came over. And, just so much to be grateful for, and that's how I celebrate this season, just appreciating the things that God has blessed me with. But I'm so glad to be a part of this stream and get in out of the cold, because these YouTube streets are getting kind of cold right now, so it feels good to be under this type of shelter.
Amen. Yes, glad is here. Okay, I'm gonna keep rotating on through. I got Mike right here. And Mike, you're muted. Okay, there you go.
I'm good.
All right. Yeah, anything you want to say to the fam?
I'm glad everybody could be here. I'm ready to get this project started. I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm just glad everybody had good holidays. Mine was good. I hope everybody's was good. But I'm just looking forward, man, to making the next move with this and meeting everybody else on the call here, getting to know a little bit about everybody. That's a good thing. Just don't really know what to say.
No, it's just straight introduction for right now. We've actually done a lot of that with our auditions and our callbacks. So just really want to give everybody a chance to kind of say what's happening. So I'll go ahead and move it through to Tony, one of our newest members, Tony Poe, because I just recently cast her as one of the supporting roles. Hey, Tony.
How are you guys? Is everybody doing well?
Good.
Yeah.
Man,
Good stuff. I just want to tell you all, I'm just so honored and humbled just to be with you guys, and I think that we've got some good creative stuff coming. And I just want to just tell you guys just blessings, just peace upon all of you, upon your minds, your hearts, your souls, everything. And I just pray that we, stay in alignment with each other and that we can create like a lot of energy together. And if it's anything from, like what I've seen so far, it's going to be just a phenomenal time that we're going to have together. So just want to thank you guys all and look forward to getting started.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, I receive all of that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I recently saw, if you ever get a chance to go to Tony's Instagram, it's just so full of positivity and the things that she's doing over there, I thought were really, really cool. And, I love Tony's spirit. Beautiful, beautiful spirit.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's good she always puts up positive stuff because there's so much negative stuff that goes up on social networking these days.
It really is. And it's funny on that point too. I'm gonna bring Chef up in a minute, but it's like just being intentional about trying to go out and just be positive. It's people almost want to look at it as corny or something. It's like, come on, people don't even want to talk about that. It's we really should be kind of going out of our way to try to uplift either ourselves, each other, be supportive, that kind of thing. And it's this environment that we're in. It's a shame that is turning into, at least here, I'll say here, meaning in the States, Western culture. Seems like it's that might be a commentary we might talk a little bit about as we talk about what we're doing with this project. It's a shame that it's not as common as I feel like it needs to be. Chef, what's happening?
What is going on, team? How you doing this evening? How's everybody feeling tonight?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Man, gotta tell you, it's this holiday season has been pretty blessed for me. If you think about the last 2 years that we had to endure, I think this was a positive change. I won't call it an evolution, because I want the change to come a lot faster. But I definitely believe that this year, this holiday season was a definite change. Funny story, I got engaged on Christmas morning.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
And the most beautiful thing is that the ring is currently getting sized, so I have 2 weeks to decide if I change my mind or not.
I got married a few years ago.
Right there.
Look, I'm gonna get all kind of gourmet meals and like 3 lunches, man, for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, man, I feel blessed, and I really, really look forward to working with you guys and vibing with you guys, because I come from the music industry, and a lot of times when you work with different artists or groups, there's a certain synergy that's required. Excuse me. There's a certain synergy required to make things flow. And considering the fact that we're going to be embarking on a process that is different than working with recording artists, there is no stop. There is no edit. there is no overlay. We're gonna be doing it live, so it's not even gonna be like, you know, a recorded CD. This is gonna be like a versus battle. We're literally gonna be on doing it live. So I believe it's important that we build a nice synergy to this thing here.
Mm-hmm. You're so right. 100% agree with that. And I'm looking forward to how we do that, you know, making it in such a way where it's easy for us to contribute to that, where it's not going to be a stress on us, you know. So I'm looking forward to that process. I appreciate you talking about that too, Chef.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I apologize. If anybody's in the Atlanta area, I'm actually a chef as well, and I love to eat. And, you know, if any of you guys want to break bread, talk about the project, what have you, we can do that as well. All right. Pardon me, Frank.
No, you're good. And thanks for actually mentioning that out, because I've been to your YouTube page and I've seen some of the stuff you hooked up, and yeah, your skills look mean. You got some mean skills over there. So
appreciate it.
And on that point too, while we're here, if anyone here has a YouTube page, let's go ahead and if we had a mod, maybe a mod will jump in. We could get one of our mods to kind of list them here for people to sub to. But if not, just type it, just do the actual link directly to the YouTube channel in the private, and then I will copy it as I see them into the main chat, just so people can always subscribe. And we're rotating. We got some people dropping off and some people are coming in. So as you see people kind of dropping off for whatever reasons, we can have other people come in as well. I see next, Raheem.
Hello.
What's happening?
How's everybody doing? I'm Raheem. Happy holidays. I hope everyone is blessed. Holidays was good. Got to spend it with family, which was a blessing because I haven't been able to see them much with COVID and everything like that. So it's whenever I get to see them, I feel, you know, blessed. Just want to say happy holidays and hello to everyone. I think this may be the first time I got to like pop in on a full cast meeting. So hello, and I'm excited to be a part of this project. Excited.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. And this is really because I haven't had a lot yet, you know, because I've been in the background grinding in these editing, trying to get this thing right. But we're getting ready to start bringing stuff that's been done in the background up front here pretty soon. And so I'm going to try to have more of these as we move forward. So so appreciate you, of course, and what you're going to bring, Raheem. Raheem is cast as Caleb. And I'm looking forward. Go ahead. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no.
So yeah. So yeah, looking forward to you know, the contributions that you're definitely going to bring to the story. Going down, I believe I think it's Melissa Jane up next. Melissa Jane, how you doing?
Hey, Frank Gooden, Emmy winning. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. It's good to see everybody here. I mean, this is quite magnificent. When I think about this project and just to be a part of it, I'm just so thankful and blessed. And when you hear some of the voices like Vaughn and Chef, wow, what a magnificent voice. It's just amazing to be associated with this. So I'm just happy. I'm excited. So again, thanks. I can't say that enough.
You are so welcome. All right, so what I'll do is, for those of you who are currently in here right now, it's like I'm gonna kind of leave it up to you, because there's not going to be a whole lot of you know, just me asking people stuff unless you want to, you know, kind of come in and contribute. So if you want to drop back, then that's totally cool. Please hang with us, because I'm going to be talking about a lot of things, and I want to leave this open so that we can get in as many people in the cast, because as we know, we've got, I think I told you, I have over 20 total cast members, and I've casted almost everyone at this point. And so, you know, but if you want to kind of, you know, at any point while I'm talking about what's going on, call in or say something in the chat, then by all means, please do so. But I do want us to have as many people up here as possible, talk about a number of things. Oh, look like somebody made space for Courtney to come in. So I want to say what's happening and give Courtney a chance to say, hey, Courtney, how you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi.
Doing good. So, okay, go ahead, Courtney.
No, I'm just excited to be here. I'm glad I set a reminder because I almost forgot. But but yeah, I'm excited to be, a part of the cast, and thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Definitely looking forward to you bringing your talent as well. Let's see. As I'm doing this, I'm going to post the links in a minute. I'm kind of multitasking, doing a bunch of stuff at the same time, trying to get people up as well. So let me start out by kind of asking maybe a general question, and that's for those of us who are here on the panel, as well as, thank you, Melissa. Melissa, yeah, just made space for somebody else to come up. So if anybody else who hasn't yet come up in the cast to say hello to everybody and to kind of just reintroduce yourself, then feel free. You can use the link. I'm dropping it right now. Using YouTube, as we all know, to kind of create this this show is, and I'll go ahead and bring Patrice back up, is just so different, using this space like this. Okay, cool. I think Mike Simmons is going to come up. Before I jump into it, let me give Mike Simmons a chance. Mike Simmons, what's happening? Hey, I don't know if you muted or not. I don't think we can hear you yet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Peace, family.
Hey, I'm just excited to be here, man. Hey, the holidays was love, but my mom was on this film right here, man. Like, this is the dopest thing going on for me right now. So I can't wait to work with y'all and do this, man, for real.
So happy to have you. Yeah. Man, so I just love how I can't wait for you all to get your chance to show out. Everybody gonna get show out. And I'm so looking forward to it. I think I was just mentioning, and we'll see here, we'll just keep this going and just mention in the chat if you're trying to get in and you haven't gotten a chance, and if you're part of the cast. So I was kind of just trying to set the stage of just how unique and different of a thing, I think, as we all know, just a new idea. We're all coming together. We got this group of talented individuals to sort of voice act in what's going to amount to a graphic novel, but act it out. So just as an example, this is kind of how I want to do it. I'll talk a little bit about it. Here's the key. I'm doing my part, as you all know. The graphic novel is really already been produced, but I am doing my part to convert it. And there's some interesting things. I can't wait for you to see how that happens, to convert it and make it ready for us to be able to do what we have to do. But it's so consuming, with everything else, of course, that I'm doing. We all stay busy, and we have, like the day job and, other things as well. So for me, what I want to ask is for everybody, the thing that I just flat out don't have time to do is the promotion side. And we talked about this a little bit before, and I can even open it up to anyone who, as you're thinking about these, if we have ideas that we can all, either small ideas or maybe larger ideas that we all can adopt as a group, of just what are some of the things that we can do to just help spread the word for when we actually get started, and then as we move forward, episode by episode. That's the one thing I can't do, is just get the word out. And so I'm really depending on the team to just do whatever, is comfortable for you, nothing over the top, or just anything, whatever comes to you, to just get the attention on, you know, what we are doing. And what I'm going to do before I kind of open that up, as we all are kind of thinking about maybe some of the things that we can do as a group and things we can do individually, is I'm going to use this stream to kind of explore what life or death is, because so many of us still, and maybe even some of you right now, because I've been not as, you know, I haven't gone all the way in with everything about the story. We've kind of talked about it, but you know, from stream to stream to stream, I don't think that I've I don't think I've put it completely out there of, okay, what is the story about? So what I want to do is use this stream to talk a little bit more about, okay, well, what's the story we're telling together? And what is life or death? So that at least when we begin to tell people about what it is that you're doing, you can have a little bit more to say than, okay, I'm in this project, it's on YouTube, and you know, it's a voice acting only, and it's a graphic novel, and you know, you'll be able to tell a little bit more about it. And also, I intend to kind of chop up the stream so that, you know, this is one long live stream. I'll pull it down, or I'll leave it up, but I'll download it and then chop it up so that, you know, if you want to share it with people and give little, you know, like 3, 4, 5 minute little bites that, you know, send links to people, say, okay, this is what it's all about, you know, straight from the director, then, you know, that can help you as well. So what I'll do is start, before I open it up, let me just take the time to give you kind of a visual representation. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, I believe so. Let me pull up. This is kind of an example here. Here we go. So I'm sure some of you, maybe most of you, have heard of Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones has a sort of a companion piece that they put out from time to time that talks about the histories of which goes into the lore. And let me make this a little bit bigger too, if I can take this full screen. That goes into the lore of what happens, and they do that in animated form. So what you see here is these are just still frames, and then you'll have a little bit of acting that goes on underneath, along with the score and possibly sound effects. So what I'll do is I'll play just a little bit of this, and before I do that, just in case I have to edit this out later for copyright, I think I'll be able to use this for fair use, but just in case, I'll simply describe this as you know, an example of what life or death can be, is similar, you know, to what we will be doing. All right, so let me play this a little bit, just a couple seconds of it. All right.
Yield now, and you may remain as Lord of the Iron Islands. Yield now, and your sons will live to rule after you. You see my army outside your walls. You see my dragons.
What is outside my walls is of no concern. Those walls are strong and thick.
Dragons fly.
But stone doesn't burn.
When the sun sets, your line shall end.
Okay. There we go. So I'll stop that sharing. So quick question, does that fit a little bit of what some of you may have been thinking in terms of what we will be doing? Does that kind of does that in keeping with sort of what you may have envisioned with what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. And so, you know, we'll of course we will be doing our own thing. It's going to have its own feel, you know, it's going to have its own sense of pacing, its own story to tell, but that's a similar type thing, you know, of what we're doing. Okay. All right. So, yep, fair use there, educational purposes. And we'll see. Hopefully they'll let me keep that in as I clip it out for others to show. All right. So has anyone had any thoughts at all on either things that we can do as a group, or maybe things that we can do individually, just to get the word out for when we do start? get some eyeballs on what we're doing?
Yes. I mean, I have a platform, so I'll be glad to do one of two things. A, definitely promote it on my platform, and even promote some of the people that's in the film to come up and have open panel discussion where, you know, I'll be able to interview y'all. Just like I do normally on my panels, where I'll just interview you as the individual and just introduce you as one of the cast members, and again promote your section of the movie. You know, just like when it all got started, I made sure to, because everybody knew who OG Patrice was, everybody knew who Vaughn was, so it was like, hey, that was easy, you know, just brought him up there. But yeah, definitely do it, you know, longer, because I definitely could speak for OG Patrice. I've never interviewed her, you know, as just the individual, you know, so that would be awesome interview to do, so that people can know who OG Patrice is and her role here and her background.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Just and you
Yeah,
being
Frank,
that's
I got
a huge.
a zillion
Go ahead.
groups. So I was just gonna say that I got a zillion groups, man, everywhere. So I would just promote, man. I'm a kind of cat that, man, I promote it every second, every time you see it, it be us.
See, that's that old school grind. That's, you know,
Yeah.
that's from the 90s. That's that Master P type thing. And that
Mike definitely a good promoter. he got a lot of platforms. He ain't lying.
Okay. You sound like he from my neck of the woods. That's a New York thing right there.
Oh man, the boogie down Bronx, right?
I'm from uptown, man. You make it Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Nice. So yeah, so you're saying you're just gonna basically have a lot of platforms and a lot of social media outlets where you're just gonna flat
I'm
out,
just gonna
you know,
explode it, man.
Yeah,
Just gonna
no strategy.
explode.
You just it's you're gonna brute force it. Is what
Right.
we call it. You're gonna brute force that thing. Anybody
I
else?
don't have a huge
Frank,
I
you
don't
have
have a
any-
huge platform at all.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple thousand followers on Facebook, but I'm as far as if I need to promote something, I'm gonna put it on Mike's page.
Okay.
Exactly.
Frank, do you have any images or anything that we can post on our social media, or anything you would like for us to say to promote this? Can you send it or?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do. And maybe I could. So, you know, there are different things that I've done in the past. For example, I'll throw this banner up real quick. We all can see this is one of the panels from the actual story from the graphic novel. This is a situation where, I mean, I'll go ahead and there won't be a surprise here. This is the main character, Caleb. And this is after the birth of his son. Right after that, and he takes a moment to pray over him. And so you have images like this. This one is one of the more intense images that I'm sure you've seen, where you know there's Roy and he's handling his business.
Tight.
Okay. You got this one, which is kind of what that logo was, and then there's a lot of, you know, this one here. I think we all have seen that. That's the one that I've been using just to talk about, just to help promote it. So I have several images that we can use.
Okay.
Just hit me up, you know, via email, and I'll be glad to send you whatever you think you need that you feel comfortable using.
Okay, good.
And also, the intro that you did, you did one visual of it where it says the streets were no place for him, and you know it had music and it kind of went through it. That's a good thing to share as well, because it kind of depicts the whole, you know, what the story's about.
Yes.
Right. I don't know what do you call that, Frank? Is that the
it's like
trailer or
like a
it's
teaser.
like a trailer?
Yeah. Teaser trailer.
So,
about a minute and a half.
Yeah, that trailer right there is awesome. You know, I personally, I'm like Mr. Quick up there. You know, I'm older. I just have a Facebook page. I have about maybe 500 people on there. But hey, I can also make that page public too, where other people can see it too, because I have it private.
Right. That's
But
right.
I mean, there's all kind of ways, all kind of different ways.
Okay, beautiful. I'm with it. Yeah, I can certainly, again, hit me with an email and I'll send it directly to you. It can be the teaser trailer because I do have these images as well. I do have little write-ups as well that we can say is just like what we call a log line. In fact, I'm going to go over some of these for this portion of the video. When I clip this portion out, the portion that talks about, okay, well, what exactly is the story of life or death? Maybe you can share this link, as well. And then, that will be sort of a direct source of information about, okay, specifically, what is it that we're about to see and what's this about? Also, I'm reading here. I don't want to leave out the chat. Let me give a shout out to Sophia. Sophia has been modding. Sophia, appreciate you, love you for what you consistently do. You've been getting people to get these likes up and helping us out and being supportive in every way. Let's see here. Tony, my daughter, does media and production. I'm going to ask her to help come up with some things I can promote as well in media, even though I have like 10 followers. All good. Yeah, every amount counts, especially with what we're, the kind of message that we're doing. Q is apparently at Full Sail University. You can see if they would help promoting it, seeing that he's a graduate. Also, a few promoter friends that can do a favor. That's awesome. Let's see.
Hey, Frank,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, as far as me, you just send me everything you got, man. Everything you want to send, just send it all to my email or Facebook, however you want to send it all to me though. I got you.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I would tell you to do the same thing, because as opposed to just sending me a link,
yeah,
I would advise you to send me the video so I can put it in my editor if I wanted to add, an intro and an out to it.
Right, the actual file, not a link.
Exactly.
The files.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, Frank. This is Patrice speaking, and send it to me via email. It'll be easier for me to get it on all of my social media platforms, as well as send it to some of my constituents in the entertainment industry so they can help promote it as well.
Okay, you know what? That just gave me an idea. See, this
Frank,
is good. All right, go ahead, Melissa.
Maybe this is your idea. I was going to suggest to put everything into a Google Drive or somewhere where everybody can pull down what they want.
Yeah. That's it. Right there.
Yes.
And the other thing, I think
there we go.
Was it Vaughn suggested a trailer? Do you have a 1 minute or less or 30-second trailer? Because we can run that. I could run that on my show each week. I do a show.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do have, I can make it shorter. Thank you.
Right
Appreciate
there
it. Right now, it's 90 seconds.
And even though I don't have a huge following, I got friends who do, and I can give them and get them to try to do some stuff.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. But the timing is important, Melissa. So if 90 seconds is too long and you want me to recut it, see if I can bring it down to under a minute, then I can when I get time, which is going to be soon somewhere in this break, I can cut it to under 60 seconds.
If you, I would say because of the way Melissa runs her show and the way I run mine, if you can give me a 30-second, because that's about as much attention span that I can grab on a live stream where I can say, okay, here's a commercial.
Yeah.
In 30 seconds. If I go past a minute, I'm going to lose everybody in my live stream.
For sure. Okay. So even shorter, like a 30-second.
Yeah. I kind of giving you a little leeway, but 30 seconds would be ideal.
Okay.
A minute would be sort of like the max. I mean, of course, you've got a lot of stuff to do, but yeah, if you put everything into a drive, in folders, so that we can just go in and grab which pieces we need. I have a Instagram page as well, so I'll put some stuff there. It's not huge. I got a few thousand, but I think collectively we can all do something. And as long as we do it consistently, and we can be a force. It can be great.
I agree 100%.
Right, I'm going to drop that again.
Frank, how long is the trailer that you have already made that's on YouTube already? Because you already have a trailer, and I've watched it.
Yep.
How long is that?
That's a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so they're saying that while that's nice and we can use the 90-second if you have the bandwidth for it, I do believe that it's smart. It behooves me to cut that down into a 30-second version of it as well.
Well, I know I can share that whole thing on Facebook. So,
Hey Frank, I don't want to be off topic or anything like that, but did you ever think of like a name for the door guard?
No, I remember I was gonna work with either you or whomever to I wanted that to come to you guys. You can kind of deposit a little of you in there if you want it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I want you to name him.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All
Name
right.
the character?
Yeah, the character. Because right now, the way it's written
Name
in
my
the
character?
screenplay, if it's a generic name, like Mike Simmons is door guard, right? I think that's what it currently is right now.
Right.
Then you can give your character a name. If it's just a generic
mine's Messenger.
Right, yours is Messenger, so you can give your character a name. Absolutely.
Door guard, call the door guard Black Julio.
Well, we get this.
Like why? I don't know.
I got a quick question. Yeah, I have a quick question. So will we all be able to see what our characters look like as far as the animated part?
Yeah,
Man,
I
that's
could
a
probably
good
do that
question,
ahead
dog.
of time. Yeah, so thanks for asking that. Yeah, if you're curious about it, for sure, I can send you a still ahead of time. The plan will be the Sunday prior. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So what I want to do is have it every Saturday. So we'll have one episode every Saturday, and we'll just start. And a little bit later, I'm going to want to talk to everybody about timing wise, whatever could possibly be best for you in terms of timing. And I have a recommendation on that, and maybe we'll just go with that. And so the plan is either the Sunday, maybe the Monday following the Saturday that we have it is when I'm going to send out the script for your character if your character is in the next scene. And so in addition to that, I can send, just a panel of what your character looks like, if you're curious. So that's cool.
I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah, I can do
Like
that.
I told my kids, I'm on a cartoon, man. So I was like, yo, I'm on your dad on the cartoon. So you know what I'm saying? I want to be bragging.
Yeah, I want to be Brad.
I got you. Well, I can send it to you, and we on our way. We're not a full cartoon, but yeah, absolutely, I can show you what the animation looks like.
Dope.
Okay, all right. So here's what I want to do. Before we get into the timing, I think that it's probably a good thing to at least talk a little bit more about what's the story, and then maybe get your input or feedback on that once I read some of these out. What I want to do is I brought in some stuff. Now, as it's so funny, and I don't know if we have anyone else here who are writers as well, but I find it really, really challenging to talk about, like a piece that I've written. Because I spend so much time into developing, and when you're developing a story, there's so many things that you kind of think about that it's a challenge for me to pull all the way out and then say, okay, this is what the story is about. This is what it's about. But fortunately, part of the writing process for filmmaking is, once you've done your work and you're ready for it to be exposed by the industry, then you send it out to professional readers, and this is what their job is. Though they especially the experience when they've been reading scripts and screenplays for years and years and years and years, and so part of what they do is you pay them to give you their notes, their feedback on what they think your story's about and where it needs work and all that, and so they critique your work. And so what I like to do when I'm talking about, okay, well, what's life or death about? Is I just let other people tell, since they're the one reading it anyway, and they're the ones that kind of, you think you know what you want to write about, but ultimately you don't really know until people start reading and receiving the work. Is I just kind of, either paraphrase, okay, well, this is what they're saying, if they feel like they nailed it. So what I've done is I've brought up, I have some screenshots of what some people, different readers have said about the work as they were critiquing it. And I'm going to bring up some of the critiques. So this, I think, will be helpful for people who kind of want to know a little bit, just specifically about this, because I can talk about this story from all kinds of angles. And it serves us to be able to be specific. So the first thing, one reader, in the industry, we have what's called a log line, which is kind of a one sentence summation of what they feel the story is about. So they, when part of their coverage, they will write a log line. So this is the log line from one reader. A young father must choose between the straight and narrow religious lifestyle of his family or the more exciting but dangerous street life of a drug dealer. So that's how this person, and in this case, I'll go ahead and tell you that we're referencing Caleb here, the main character of Caleb. All right, so this is how one person sees it. Another reader presents this log line. After an injury sidelines his professional basketball dreams, a young man turns to a life of crime and drug dealing to support his family. So that's how this particular person kind of sums up the whole story. All right. Here is one person's comments about the story. Overall, this is what they write. Life or Death is a crime drama that attempts to blend two seemingly unmatchable genres, urban and religious. And that's interesting in itself because in a way, you seemingly unmatchable, I think is pretty accurate. While most religious stories that attempt to depict the problems with street life fail to adequately present the hard-edged lifestyle, Life or Death actually succeeds in making the crime world feel authentic. And I'm glad they wrote that. I'm glad they're seeing that because as I mentioned in one of the previous live streams, for me, it's very personal. I think you guys heard me talk about I believe it was on your show, Uncle Stu. We were talking about how we have a lot of our young people, especially our young brothers, who find themselves in these situations where they are, pulled into the streets, I like to say, from different reasons. These are young people and they've got a lot of different reasons why they're doing it. And the street life, we can't act like the street life ain't here. It's definitely here. And we got more young brothers than we care to either admit, maybe some of us even recognize, who turn in that direction because they see it as the only way they can do basic things like feed their family. You know what I'm saying? Just the fundamental things, just to get by. But there's a lot of other things that can kind of contribute to it as well. So, I've mentioned on your stream, Uncle Stu, about this story being, inspired by The Wire, where you've got that little street life. But the thing that was missing in The Wire, and this is my critique of The Wire, is that it depicts us in a way that is almost like I say 99%. There's one small little area where they kind of bring in a little bit of, either religious themes or spiritual themes. But for the most part, it depicts us in a way that is absent spirituality, religion, in Black Americans' case, Christianity. And as a culture, we know that that's a real part of who we are culturally overall.
I think most of humanity is we're not seen as humans.
And I think that's I'm with you on that. In terms of there's a lot of realistic things.
Right.
Yes. There's a lot of realistic things that kind of does happen, but then there's a certain absence of humanity in a very interesting way that I find in The Wire that I want to make sure is present in this. And this spiritual theme, this Christian theme that I have is part of it. So it's just interesting when I have a reader, make that kind of critique. I'm gonna keep going here. Does anybody want to comment on that before I even go further into the story? Anybody else want to say anything on that?
Oh, this is good.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it going. So a different reader wrote their perspective on the title. Life or Death is a very good title, effectively bridging the two seemingly incompatible genres of the urban crime drama and the religious film. With either genre, individually, this title would work well. But with this hybrid crossover approach, it works even better. That was what they think about it. And I feel like that's very accurate too, for a lot of different reasons. And we'll get into the significance of the title as we get into the story. But I think that observation was accurate. I'm going to keep going. All right, this particular one is a little bit longer. But again, if we want to talk about what is life or death, then I want people to know this is what I want. I want people to know what we're getting into here. All right, life or death is a particularly risky property, is what they say. With its gritty, edgy depiction of a life of crime, it threatens to put off religious viewers, and with its heavy religious tones, it could repel audience of the urban crime dramas. The fact that those things could happen makes this script somewhat dangerous. But more important is the fact that the opposite could happen. It could potentially be a wildly successful crossover venture, effectively bringing two large markets together. That possibility makes Life or Death a potentially very lucrative gamble should a producer with the inclination to roll the dice be found for it. Since it is at its core a gamble, that's what this person thinks. However, everything else about it needs to be spot on perfect, and the author could improve his odds greatly by restructuring the script to completely remove the nonlinear timeline and the chapter system. I'll talk about that after I read this, which do little to help the story and quite a bit to hurt it. While this script is getting a pass here, it is only because it needs another draft. The main characters are strong and much of the dialogue powerful. In fact, the writing here is excellent, so I'm giving the script consider for the writer. The structure needs to be taken care of, however, before Life or Death is able to become the marketable script it could and should be. Now, let me just say, without getting too deep into what they were talking about there, is I took that advice for what we're doing here. That particular advice of telling this story in a non-linear fashion. I had my reasons for it, but I really considered that and thought it completely through. And I'm going to take that person's advice for a lot of reasons. And you guys will see that coming up. So that's part of the reason why we have, experienced readers kind of read these things. Some things they mention and critique, you understand where they're coming from and you kind of hold to what you think your vision is. And then sometimes you get critiques that you feel is valuable, that's going to be helpful. And of course, you better be open to receive the critique that critiques that people are making if you think it's going to make your work stronger. All right, so that one was long. I'm gonna finish this up. Again, this is me trying to be very thorough with letting everybody know what this story is about. We got two more, and then I'm gonna open it up for any comments. So we had someone write here about what they felt like the premise and marketability of the premise was about. All right, and this was personal. They wrote this directly to me. I think you managed to achieve most of the concerns that you listed on your entry form. I did feel that your story was very realistic and insightful, and think that it does reach out across cultures. People go to the movies, and remember this was started out as a film script, as I've told you, because they are primarily interested in stories about the human struggle and human condition. You've hit a universal note in that it's part of the human condition to struggle between doing what's right and doing what's easy and not necessarily good. You say you want the subject matter to be unflinching, but not vulgar or gratuitous. While I found your opening very gritty and enormous intent, one thing and then I cut it off because they were going too deep into it, and they would start telling them what the story is going on. So here, I just want to really point out here what I like about this critique is that it's acknowledging that this central struggle here, and it's saying that I did a good job of making sure that it's prevalent of doing what's good versus doing what's easy, and making the right choices versus making choices that are easy or even choices that you know you shouldn't be making. That is part of a central theme when it comes to the story that we're telling. All right, and you'll see that play out. And then I'll read this last one, and then I can open this up for anybody. Commerciality. This is someone else commenting on how commercial they think this concept might be. Scripts, religious themes, and sermonizing combined with well-written street scenes make an interesting mix. Frankly, the reader, that's the person who's reading this, is unsure as to the commercial potential here because this is indeed an unusual combination. However, the reader believes that if the story works, then this genre melding could actually be a big plus for the writer. In short, commercial potential could be strong with certain producers if the writer is able to address some of the issues discussed herein effectively. All right, so then you have a different writer kind of acknowledging this dual thing that I'm trying to do with this story. Obviously, I feel like I'm going after it. I feel like this is something that I think has the potential to hit a lot of people where they are, change or at least influence people positively, and be something that a lot of people, will pay attention to and be affected by. Of course, that's why I'm doing it. So as we move forward with the way that we're doing it now, as opposed to a film, I think that in an interesting way, this has an opportunity to really get that power out. Because when we do these episodes, we're not going to just have these episodes, do them. We're going to rehearse them, and then we're going to have them, and we'll put them out there in a live environment. But we're leaving the channels open. So right after we finish with what we do, we're opening it up for the audience to then call in and have an immediate sort of back and forth dialogue with the creators, that's myself as well as you all, to talk about what it is that they've seen and how it affected them, and whether or not a character, Courtney, your character might do something that like, okay, that's my character. I wouldn't do it quite like that, or maybe you would do it exactly like that character, but you have an opportunity as an actor and a fellow creator in the process to offer whatever your insights are about the story and about your character. And that's across the board, and really just leaving it open for everybody to connect. What's so cool about it is that when we go to a movie or we see these movies or we watch things at home, we are in our own little box, so to speak, and we receive things how we are. But when you collectively can all watch something, then I think we all have and it opens up an opportunity to collectively share either experiences or insights that like your neighbor would not have necessarily thought of. But for, hey, now, boom, it's open. You're asking the director, you're talking to the people who are creating it and saying, this is what we're doing. So this is part, and this is not just that part, but everything else, the acting side of it. We're gonna have people who, are gonna want to ask questions about the nuts and bolts. What's the approach that that you're taking towards fulfilling the character? What's the reason why you wrote it this way, and those kinds of things. So it's just going to be wide open for the interactivity as we go episode to episode as we unveil the story. So I think that was the last one. Any questions before I kind of talk about some of the next thing? Any comments or any feedback on anything that anyone has heard up to now? I'm going to go through the comments while I'm waiting to.
Yeah, I guess my question would be on the religious side. How are you introducing the religion up until that chapter 7 part? Is that something where you're just going to have like a overarching spiritual theme and you're going to try to intertwine that how do you really want to stitch that together?
You mean your part?
Yeah.
Oh, the pastor's part? Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll talk to that. Yeah. So that, you know, is just going to be a normal scene. You're a pastor, and we're going to talk. We're going to work all that out, because there's one specific thing, you know, there's a theme that I need you to hit on when we get to that. And there might even be, I think there's going to be one line that I need to make sure that when you create what you create, you mention this line. And it's a verse out of the Bible. And so that's good. So let's definitely talk about that one-on-one offline before we do it. And that's going to be one of these questions. I'm looking forward to this, because that's going to be one of the things that people are going to ask about later on. Like, how did you create this scene? And I'll be able to say, man, Uncle Stu got it in his prayer closet, and he came out with something that was just awesome and amazing. And, you know, so yeah, thanks for asking that. But we're going to definitely.
Yeah, once I get the scripture, then it gives me a chance to study and pray. So.
Yes, so I'm going to make sure. We have a new addition right now. I don't know how long you've been watching until you were able to join us, Frank Cleveland. This is Frank Cleveland. I call him the maestro, because he will be hooking the score up together, and he's already had a chance to kind of get a little bit of it, and he's kind of already looking into some of the sounds and sort of the direction that he wants to take the score. So, Frank, what's happening?
Hey, you got it. I was here for the 300-second countdown, so I've been here the entire time. But wanted to say to everyone, I'm glad to hear everyone had a Merry Christmas. To the brother who lost their son, man, my heart goes out for you. I've lost 2 kids. I've lost twins. And it was a rough experience. I will say this: every year, celebrate. Don't try to mask it. Celebrate it, because of the fact that that's what he would want you to do. So I don't care if you got to go out and walk around something and cry and yell and scream, you know, and then put on your favorite record and laugh and remember, do what you got to do. You know, but understand that his life was not in vain, but he lives on with you. So I just wanted to encourage you by that. Also, there was one comment, Professor, that bothered me from the
critiques.
Yeah, from the critiques, and that is if it's going to be successful. I don't know how many true believers that we have, but I don't want to over spiritualize things. But in God, there is no plan B. Sorry.
You got to talk it into existence.
Exactly.
All right. Now.
So
speak it into existence. It will be great.
This is going to go further than Love Trap went. This is going to go further than Love Jones went. This is going to go further than any graphic novel has gone. Why? Because we're not doing this by our own power or by our own might. So we're doing it by his spirit. So
right now,
enough of that spiritual part, but I had that kind of vexed my spirit when they were saying that.
Yes,
but it's very interesting to hear you all's voices and to see what you all look like. And I'm too, and I'm waiting to get. I would like to be included on the collage of the characters, because that first scene, Chef, bruh, man, that was intense, man. You and Caleb,
excellent job.
Man, that was intense. Matter of fact, it's by that scene.
Yeah,
I'm creating a complete library of soundscapes and sounds that we're going to be using in this.
I see what you did too.
In this. Well, no, that wasn't me. Oh, that's
not me.
Oh,
so
no,
there's more
no,
magic.
no.
Okay,
oh,
okay.
no. That was the stock stuff. No, we gonna get you.
Okay, that was the Harry Potter. You the
there
you
you go.
magician.
Right. Yeah, but I've got some things planned out, and just so that you all know, each character, as I'm hearing for the first time the actual synopsis of everything, each character, I'm going to try to work out for them to have their own sound and to try to come out to have your own kind of melody, even though it's not melodic driven. Frank and I have talked about the way that this score is going to go. And let me tell you, it's going to be a completely different soundscape than what anybody has ever heard. I mean, it's really stretching me. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and this is going to be a challenge in that it's different, and each of your voices, in listening to your voices, each of them has a different timbre. And my job is going to be able to match your timbre of your voice to a particular sound, because of the fact that unlike a screenplay where you actually have action and you can see body language and everything, your voice inflection coupled with the sounds that I use is going to go ahead and come together to create a virtual physical motion. So as you act out your part, the more inflections, and I know Professor will make sure that you guys are at the top of your game, because homie don't play anything else but that. But the more that you can give me, the more that you can go ahead and be who you are in your character, I know that it's going to make my job a lot easier to present a score. Like I said, this Frank challenged me because he wants a complete soundscape so that as people watch, they get engrossed in it. So the sounds I'll be using for, I think, Chef, you said you were in the industry, everything's going to be very wide stereo panned. I mean, it's going to be like when you put on your headsets,
stereo.
earbuds, yeah, it's going to be mad crazy. Even down to the point to where when Frank lets me put sound effects in there, they're going to be panned, according to where the character's coming in. So when I go in hard, not just music, but just Foley. Because
so you're not just scoring, you're going to be mastering it as well.
Oh, bruh, listen. When I tell you,
panning.
Frank and I, we go back, like I said, to Love Trap, and he trusted me then with something that he had never seen to fruition, and he's trusted me now. So yeah, it's going to be big. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you all because this is history being made. Yeah. This is straight up history being made. Yeah. And with history and with being trailblazers, sometimes you got to go through the brush and take your machete and cut down the thorns and cut down the thickets and cut down everything in order to make it big. So discouraged.
Are you saying that Courtney Lynn is going to be the Harriet Tubman of graphic novels?
And OG, where you at?
You got some big shoes to fill, sis.
But this is going to be a phenomenal journey, and I look forward to hearing your voices in character. Because that's going to be very, very exciting. So understand that, you got somebody on the audio side that's going to be accentuating what you all are saying. And it's my prayer that when you see it coupled with when you see the artwork coupled with your voice and then the soundscape that I'll be providing, that, everyone will be really happy. And then it puts you in the scene. It puts you in that place. It puts you in life or death, because of the fact that since this has never been done like this before, we're going to go ahead and make history, and can't nobody going to do it better than us. So, that's what we're doing. So, so I appreciate you guys. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
Dope. One of the best, being in music production, one of the best compliments you can give to a producer or audio engineer is tell them this sounds good.
Right. Exactly. And trust me, Professor will let me know if it sucks. He has no problem in saying, I like it, but so for the past couple of weeks, I've been going through sounds and building up a library So I can go ahead and have many different textures to pull from, so that we can do something unique and have some surprises around the corner and some stuff like that. So yeah.
Anything anybody want to, because I'm going to say a couple things on that, but I want to open it up for anybody else to comment if you wanted to on what Frank
Well,
was
thank
talking
you. Yeah, well, thank you for your words of healing and encouragement. You know, that's greatly appreciated. You know, I didn't get offended by the word if, because the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and turn from their wicked ways, then shall I hear from heaven and heal their land. So, you know, like they say, when it's time for that fifth, let the if go, because that's where the faith and the healing comes from. So just keep on doing it. Just keep on moving.
And I pray to touch the hem of Uncle Stu's garment and allow myself to become a part of his prayer list, so he can pray for my low subscriber count. Pray for my low subscriber count, but I know God is good. And he has anointed Uncle Stu. So.
Amen. Amen. All right, well, I'm gonna support. And on that point, there's something too, just by way to expect. And you know, Frank, you can either kind of say something on this if you want. But one of the things that we talked about, which might be a little bit different, as I'm bringing up these different comments, is that one of the things that I asked him, and we talked about a number of things, and definitely challenged the maestro on a couple areas, is that and generally, now this is kind of general, speaking generally, because some films are maybe a little bit different, but generally in filmmaking, the score definitely supports what's going on, but it's supportive in a way that is slightly non-intrusive, or maybe slightly invisible. And because of what we're doing, like we were doing this, and Frank remembers, I was all over him about this with Love Trap, for example. but with this one, what I told Frank is that as much as appropriate, we want the score to actually serve as another character, if you will. Like the score, without being overly intrusive, is going to be as much a part of why people receive Life or Death as the characters and the performances. So in an interesting way, the score, that I'm just kind of preparing everybody for the score having a slightly more prominent role than what we might imagine in, say a typical film. And maybe this happens in general, maybe this is standard, I don't know, in when you're adapting graphic novels the way that we're doing, but I don't think so. I think that we're taking an approach here that is going to allow Frank to really show off in a way, in helping create, all the things that he's talking about. He's talking about some things that even in terms of how he's going to execute that I don't have the full understanding, so I'm very intrigued to see some of these details he's talking about, creating sounds that are really, really identifiable to the characters, and everybody having their own sound and then having those things weave in together. I'm looking forward to that as well. Frank, did you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, sure. This whole endeavor, like I said, it's going to create an audio atmosphere for everything. The way that Professor described it to me was like a video game, in that when you play a video game, you get immersed with the visuals. Well, here you've got to get immersed with the visual, which is the animation and the stills, but then you also are going to have the audio experience. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be challenging, because like I said, this is territory where no one has come into before. So whereas you have your traditional score where you use traditional instruments, and I can actually chart out what I'm playing and saying, okay, this is the piano part, this is this part, this is that part. This is something totally different. This is going to be something that is going to be more electronica, something that's going to use more of it's just going to take you to a whole nother place. And some instruments may be recognizable, but they're going to be morphed into something else because of the fact that we want to maintain the purity of the landscape. Even though this is a realistic situation, we're still dealing with a fantasy situation, so we can make it be what we want it to be. And I enjoy the fact, Frank, that you said that the cast can name some of the characters because of the fact that they can connect to them as well. And I don't know if how you've told them to get into character, but it's going to be interesting in hearing how your voice fits your character and what your character looks like. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were telling me that when they get a character, they go ahead and come up the backstory of the character, who the character is, where they went to school, what favorite thing, and I was like, wow, I didn't really think of it like that. So I imagine you all have to go even deeper to really discover who your character is and be able to bring your character to life. And then off of what you say, off of what you do, off of your inflections, that's then when I will come in and be your shadow, so to speak. So to make sure that everything that you say and the actual scene, the intensity of it is felt and seen.
And I noticed Courtney nodding as well. I don't know if you want to add anything about the typical actor's process and maybe how you intend to work with your character when the time comes. But I just noticed you were doing a lot of agreeing with what Frank was saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, the moment you get a character, there's no way I can bring a character to life and know what that character is going to sound like if I have no idea what their backstory is. We know that our lives impact what we do today. So it's like, it's the same thing with these characters. They've become these people simply because of what they've gone through. And so it's like every little detail, like you said, like where they went to school, where they grow up, did they have siblings? What do they look like? Were they shamed when they were a child? What occupation do they have? All these kinds of things play into it. And then when you're talking about like this kind of project we're working on, we can't even rely on our facial expressions to help bring the story together. So those inflections and everything have to be so intentional, and you have to know exactly why you're doing what you're doing, why you're saying what you're saying, and being completely authentic with it. Because the moment you're not, it's like the audience is like, yeah, nope, don't believe you, that sort of thing. So it's like it's a whole nother ball game, but it's exciting to keep talking about these things because people don't think about what it takes to get to that point. So audio dramas are cool, and then to add the graphic, we have some of the pictures which are cool, but it's not like we're going to be looking at them the whole time and working with them. We got to have that with us already. You know what I mean? Before we can rely on it as much as we think we could. So I 100% agree with you. And it also sounds like the way the score is going to be, it's like it's a whole nother character that you're about to add to the piece. So it's like can't fall flat with what I give you. There's nothing worse with monotone, somebody sounding like this all of the time. What do you do with that? You can't really do anything with that.
Pull up a flat line. That's what you
do.
You
it's just no melody, no color, no lightness, no nothing. What are you doing? So I'm excited to play with this.
As far as creating backstories for like characters, I played a part in a movie where it's like a series, and I wear a patch. I actually am the head of a mob family, and I wear a patch. And I actually made a backstory. One of the lines in the movie that's pretty much my favorite line is, if they don't find my nephew and bring him back, I'm not going to say all the profanity, but it ends up with me telling my best man I'm going to feed his flesh to my dog, back a dog with. So I went as far as calling myself Donnie Dogs, and I wrote a backstory on how my eye got cut out by my twin brother because I was committing crimes, and he said he didn't want someone with a nasty mind like mine and a killer to look like him. So he cuts my eye out, and that's how I ended up having my eye done. And I actually told the producer about the backstory, and he actually wants to turn it into a short story.
Wow. That's
dope.
intense. That's
Yeah,
intense.
that's part of the creative process. And I'm glad we're talking about this part because I do want to mention a little bit of the creative process that we will need. I think we all understand, and I'm gonna bring OG Patrice back up. Look like she dropped off earlier. Is I want to talk about. So remember, we're doing the other cool thing is, of course, we're doing all this live in front of everybody. Like, so our rehearsals, of course, are going to be live in front of, and we're creating as we go and inviting everybody to really see, the behind the scenes, the nuts and bolts in a very interesting fashion. So in order for that to happen, and for the maestro to do his job, at least in terms of getting us a score that is serviceable for when we actually do the performance, we have to work in a certain way. And that way is, and this is something that I only recently realized, is that when I give everybody the scripts, if you're in the scene for the following upcoming weekend, the Saturday, likely it'll be like first thing sometime Monday. I will need to schedule basically a table read as early as possible in the week. Possibly we'll work out whatever the timing is for everybody, but likely if I can go for that Monday, like in the evening, we'll just do a table read. And it's table read is table read, so you only do so much with that. But with that table read that I will record, that will give Frank what he needs to then be able to begin crafting and working on. He's going to hear your general approach to the characters. He's going to hear your voices and get that to him early so that he can then work on what he needs to work on, so that by the time we get to the performance, he'll have something down. And one of the things I'm going to make sure that I express to everybody is that none of it will be a finished product. They're watching us build and create as we go, but the finished product will be after everything is completed, 18 weeks out, because this has been broken down into 18 different episodes. And so at the end is then when I put together and take in everything and edit and the best of what Frank is going to do, and then put that all together to create, the final product. So it's just a very interesting process that we're taking, but I wanted to give everybody that heads up that one of the important things that'll need to happen is that we'll just come together and do a table read really early in the process to help give Frank what he needs for, the unofficial score, if you will, sort of the light score, if you will, for entertainment purposes only, so to speak, for the Saturday when we actually go live. Any questions on that or comments on that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Question. It may differ from what you were talking about, but the last time me and you spoke a while back, you were mentioning that, because I told you that, well, I use my earbuds when I'm talking. And you said, well, no, the process is going to be a little bit different because there's an app or something that you were telling me about, or some other type of way of streaming. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about this so that we all can talk about it. I've mentioned this in the one-on-one meetings with the ones that I've had the meetings right now, but the way we will approach it is that when we are this is on the Saturday, and we're going to work out a time and all that here pretty soon. When we're actually rehearsing and then the actual live performance on the Saturday, I need for everyone to basically have an app voice recorder on your smartphone, and that you position your smartphone somewhere around you so that it's roughly like no more than maybe 6 inches away from your voice. Like, notice right now, you see my little setup here. I got a green screen. I'm using Jacksonville as a backdrop, but you see my mic here. This is my just a normal mic. Imagine if this was your phone, and you were to place your phone somewhere around you so that it's positioned not far from your voice, from where you are. And remember, we won't be seeing everyone. Everyone will be like Derek and Vaughn and OG and Chef are, where we won't see any of this. So you can have your phone really wherever you want, just as long as it's not far from you. And then you use your voice recorder on your phone, and you record the entire session yourself. And then from beginning to end, when you log in to when we actually do it. So when you're recording, it's going to get your audio cleanly. And the reason for that, of course, we talked about it, when we're online like this, anything can happen. There can be delays, and people can drop into what I call the matrix, where you start sounding like, a robot, and, exactly. All of that. But when you record everything right there, especially with the phone so close to you, you're going to have an excellent quality for me to be able to do what I need to do with it, and from the voice perspective. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect at all. In an ideal situation, we will be doing a number of things voice-wise, but it will be appropriate and plenty good enough for me to be able to come in and make the edits that I need across the board. So when you all do things that are going to be amazing in the rehearsing process, and Courtney probably knows a little bit about this, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes an actor or actress will do something singular in the rehearsal that you don't necessarily get duplicated when it's time to go live or when you're in front of the cameras. And I'm a very meticulous. I make sure that I present your best performance. And so I'm going to go through every single take of everything, and I will cut up little parts that if you do something that is just absolutely completely in the pocket, or even just over and above, or just something that's really special that I don't necessarily get later on in the performance, I'm going back to get that, and I'm putting that in. So when you record the entire process, rehearsal as well as the live performance, I have access to everything to make sure that when it's time for the official, I'm making sure that you all are presenting the absolute best performances you gave throughout the entire process. So anyway, that's kind of a long answer to your question, Vaughn. I'm going to want you all to download a voice recorder onto your smartphones, position those relatively close to where you will be speaking, hit record the whole thing. And at the very end, when we're done, I'll give you a spot where you can upload it or send it to me so that I can have the audio file.
Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one note: make sure you don't hold it, like cup it and hold your phone, because what'll end up happening with a side is in front of your mouth, your microphone, is because what you will get is your the explosive, where the P's, the everything that you say is going to, your phone's automatically going to compress it. So when you have it about 6 inches away, make sure that you're kind of talking maybe at the center of your phone. That way you won't get any of those P's or the T's and all the air that comes with it, because that'll help Frank be able to edit quick, fast, and in a hurry on this, since we're dealing with a time crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Frank, let me ask you, man. I know we can use the phone, but like if you got like a sound recorder, like a device already, is that can still like link up and send you the link? Can I use that as well?
Thanks for asking that. If you have a sound recording device or a setup that is superior to what I'm talking about, absolutely use that, either instead of or in addition to your call, the phone. Absolutely. That was just me making it really, really easy for everybody to be able to give us something that I know I can work with. But many of us have setups that here, right at home, sound setups that are actually far superior to what I'm talking about. So if you have that, absolutely use that.
Then I will have my question is, being that I have you and Frank at the same, two Franks at the same time. Right now, you're actually hearing my voice through my own microphone, through a Rode. I just don't have the Rode set up where I hit my own recording, where it's going to go into my audio. Because I got Audacity that I can send it to, or I can send it to my Mac. But I have it connect up. This particular one is connected to the PC, so I got Audacity. Is this sound good, or do I need to just go ahead and do it over my phone? Because I have no clue what people hear when I'm talking.
Okay, I'll take this one. There's a lot of room noise. Because and what the room noise is the reflections of your voice off the walls. When I'm speaking, you don't hear any reflections at all because I've got bass traps all around my my room, because this is where, when I do sessions here, this is where vocalists come and actually sing. So what you want to do is you want to get someplace that you can be a little bit closer, so that will minimize the room noise. Because if you're in an alley somewhere and you're having a conversation and your voice comes up and you hear the room around you, it's going to be like, it sounds like you are in a place with like kind of you've ever been into a empty room where nothing's in there, floor is just a wood floor and walls, and you speak and you hear kind of like it's not an echo, but it kind of
Like
sounds
a reverb.
like a reverb, like a plate reverb or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like now. I mean, it's not a bad sound for if you're doing a podcast or if you're doing something like that, but something like this, excuse me, you want to be someplace else, or you want to create an enclosure. Now, for those of you all, this might sound strange, but if you have a closet and you got a lot of clothes in your closet, go in your closet and shut the door, turn on the light, and speak into your phone and do your scenes that way. Because what that
I have done that.
Right, that'll give you straight up clean audio.
Now let me say this, because my platform is my business. You know, is it best for me to go ahead and soundproof this room? Not just for here, but just for what you're actually hearing.
I would say yes. I would say that if this is since this is your business, make the investment to create an atmosphere that is clean, an atmosphere that if someone wants to, let's say you get called up by Netflix and they somebody saw you and they want to snip it and they ask you to send audio, you want to send them the audio that's clean. You know, I would suggest that. It's not that expensive to do, but since this is where you are, I would highly suggest it.
Yeah, I mean, my one of my businesses is podcasting. So I am a video podcaster, and like I said, when you don't know what you really sound like,
right?
You know,
I get it.
And you're like, okay, I know little by little, I got to keep investing upward. You don't want to just put money out there and it's like, okay, that was a waste of money.
Right.
But okay, I got to invest 5, 6 to 1,000, but I'm going to get this type of quality. Then I'm in a whole different category.
Now there is a workaround for this. Since you have a Rode mic, they actually sell enclosures that you put on a mic stand, and it literally encloses around the microphone. And you can be in mic. Yeah, any mic. It encompasses, it encloses the microphone. In addition to what I have here, I use that on my mic. That way everything is really clean and you hear nothing but just your voice.
Okay, so I'm you gotta forgive me for my technical words. The little spongy thingy that actually came with
that's a windscreen.
That's what I'm supposed to put on this microphone.
Right, but that's a windscreen. What that does is when you do P's and everything, you don't hear it. That's all that is. That's just a windscreen. So even if you take it outside, you put that on there and you have relatively clean audio if the wind is blowing. What we're talking about doing is actually making sure you have something that is sonically treated that will go ahead and give you what you need. Let me show you.
Well, we can do this. I can put my email in a private chat, and then that way, you know, we can work offline. You know, that way I'm not holding up everybody's time.
And you see here, I posted. I just did a
yeah,
Google.
that's the perfect thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
you see
that's
a
what it
different
is
one.
right there. If you make an investment in that, you will not be sorry.
Okay.
So in fact, I'll make this one a little bit bigger here. Sounds like something close to this one, Maestro. Over here to the right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That one right there is what you need.
Or, you know, something similar. This is just an example of it.
Okay. I'm putting my email in the private chat.
Okay.
It's a good question. Yeah, and I agree, especially when you know this is what you do now. You're spending so much time doing it. People investing in something that people are listening to you. You know, you want to make sure that you maximize the quality of that as much as possible.
Okay.
So now I have a question as well. So now, are you saying that the recorder would make the sound better than the phone?
Yeah, a professional recorder would properly with everything else. It's not just the recorder itself. If you have something that is an outside recorder where you've built your system to be able to do that, then the answer is yeah, that would. But I don't want this to be this is why I kind of broached it with sort of the bottom line, having a voice recorder on your smartphone and position the phone a certain way.
Okay.
Because you know we want to shoot for as much as we can, but I'm very practical in that I'm not trying to have everybody, you know, look into buying something and trying to set up their studio to do it. And it might, you know, you want to make it as easy as possible for me to clean up audio and to do the best that we can. That would be the way to do it. That is perfect advice from Frank about if you have some sort of closet, you know, with the clothes or a space that you can go into that's practical for you to be able to do it, then do it. And these are the kinds of things too that we can work out ahead of time, like before your scene comes up, and then you have questions about, okay, well, how do I sound here? How do I sound? What about this? What about this? And I can press in on that with you and really iron that out ahead of time. Seems like somebody messing with the audio right now. I'm here clicking and moving around and all right, so that's good stuff. So outstanding. So yeah, so on that, I just wanted to, in terms of the way our approach will be, let's be mindful of that as well. We'll have a table read really early in the week, and then later on we're talking about the way that we actually execute. So I've mentioned, and anytime anybody have any questions, break in, just let me know. I mentioned about we want to do this on Saturdays. Now, I prefer this to be Saturday evenings, if at all possible, because just thinking it through and how most people use their Saturdays, most of the time we have plans on our Saturdays. We do things, you know, we have things we want to get done during the day on our Saturdays. But if generally speaking, Saturday evenings can work, then I want to go for that for a number of reasons. I'm on the East Coast, and so you know, the later the time is on the East Coast, the more acceptable the time is on the other time zones. So, for example, if I'm like 8 o'clock here, then it's 5 o'clock on the West Coast, and you know I definitely don't want to set it up so that somehow it's like a Saturday at noon, for example, my time. That means that people on the West Coast is 9 o'clock in the morning. But then generally speaking, the later in the evening we go, usually for people who have things that they want to do on their Saturdays, that stuff can be done out the way, especially when you know ahead of time that your scene's coming up on, you know, February 29th or 28th or, you know, whatever. And you can plan on that a little bit easier, and it's not really taking your day away. So in general, how does it feel, just generally speaking, like Saturday evenings, Eastern time? I would never take it any later. And I don't think I would even take it to 9 o'clock, but I don't think I would ever take it any later than say, you know, 8 or 9, but preferably sometime in that 6 to 7 to 8 range for you all. How does that sound?
I'm flexible, so you know, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm down, Frank. Whatever, baby.
Yeah, I'm down with that time too. I actually work every Saturday, so that gives me time to actually come home and be ready to make it happen.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I would say for me, Frank, it would have to be during the Saturday as opposed to that Saturday night. Only because of what I'm running here.
Okay, so when we get to the week where we do with you, there might be room for some sort of adjustment as much as possible to accommodate.
Yeah, if it's only one day, then yeah, I can move some things around. But if you needed me every Saturday, that would probably be a little bit, at least at that time slot.
Got it. Okay. Any other comments on that? What I'm doing now, if you guys see me, I'm going ahead and copying over the websites. I'm sorry, the YouTube. That's YouTube, guys. YouTube pages for everybody who has YouTube pages. If you haven't yet and you're on the cast and you have a YouTube page, hit me with that link in the private and I'll copy it over and put it in the public chat. Okay, and I'm just going back and forth. So yeah, anybody else so far with any comments on that? All right, good stuff. This is YouTube. All right, so I'm going one by one. Okay, so now I've been looking at possible dates for when we start. All right, and so it is worth pointing out that just as mentioned, everyone, of course, won't be required for every week, as we know. In fact, there are two main characters who are carrying the heaviest load in terms of the number of weeks. And I'm pulling that up right now so I wrote these down just in terms of So the character of Caleb, and so that's Raheem, right now is scheduled, that's 14 weeks out of the 18 weeks that we will produce this. The character of Roy, the Caleb is going to be grinding on this every weekend, and I talked to Raheem about it. He said he's down, he can't wait to do it. So he's going to be lifting, doing some lifting on us. The character of Roy is 13 weeks out of the 18 total. The next heaviest lift will be the character of Bus. So that's Chef Shapino with 9 weeks out of the 18, so half the amount of time. The next character is Bianca and Ava. The character of Bianca, those two characters will be needed for a total of 5 weeks of the 18. And then the characters of Clarence and Caroline, who we both have here. Let me double check here. Yep. That's Vaughn and Courtney. Will be needed for 2 weeks. And then I think maybe it's a couple other characters who will be needed for a couple weeks like that. And then all the rest of the supporting characters will be needed for 1 week. So you've now heard, door guard is 2 weeks. We're gonna have to give you a name, bruh. And
I like Grit, Frank.
Grit.
If
you like it, I like it. So we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna give you some real latitude right there. So
let's do it.
Okay, so yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you can go ahead and make that official. Spell that.
GRIPP.
Grip. Gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Grip. I like that. And I want you to do it. We'll talk about it. So you know what? There's something that was mentioned too. Let me say this too. Because we talked about the importance of characters having backstories. When we get into we get closer and we share the screenplay, and really at any point you guys can do this actually coming up, and as I get time I will work with you on that. Remember, I think I've mentioned in a previous stream that I do have the outline already written for a prequel and a sequel to what we're about to do. So these characters all have backstories that I have established. And so to the effect that you all need, of course, any information from me about what I've established as a character's backstory, I'm definitely going to give it to you. And then I'm going to give it to you to feel free to make the suggestions and try to fill in any, spots that I have not already sort of written or created for those in terms of other things that you need or would like to use and have to flesh out your character. But yes, absolutely. If this hits, then we will have an opportunity to do a whole lot more with this moving forward. All right, so that's that point on that one. So I'd say that as a segue to whenever you are kind of coming up with whatever your backstory might be, Grip, definitely work with me on that because with that particular character, there's definitely room for that to be prominent in terms of the prequel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you, dog. I got you.
We're
gonna get gangster, baby.
Yeah. So we're gonna work that out. Okay, here I'm doing a couple things. All right. So any other questions so far? Oh man, I got a bunch of. I can't look at all that right now. I got messages coming in.
If it's cool, you said we can name our own character. I like Mecca.
Mecca. Okay, make it official. It's live right here on the chat.
Mike. That's dope, Mike.
It is Mecca.
Mecca. There we go. All right, so make sure you remind me if I forget.
All right, I guess I'll just say, this is the Pastor Stu.
Pastor Stu. Okay, there we go. Pastor Stu. Let's do it. Official. See, this is what I love right now. Things are taking shape right in front of us, live and direct. Okay. All right. So I'm going to continue. Oh, I was about to segue. So the dates in terms of when we start. I was looking at the last 2 weeks in January. So in terms of the first day, because once we start, we just keep going week to week, and that's how we really set our schedule. And so, barring anything crazy happening that will throw us off, you can basically count 18 weeks, including the week that we start is when, start day 1, and then day 18. So I'm looking at either the 22nd or the 29th of January. Does anybody have any comments one way or the other about those two dates in terms of those being day 1 for when we start? I think the 22nd, just me personally, I think the 22nd is it's ambitious because, that'll put us slightly over 3 weeks out and there are, of course, things that I want to do and I don't want to necessarily put, and I don't want to overly pressure like Frank in terms of the score. So I'm just leaning one way or the other, 22nd, 29th. If I had to lean, I would probably lean the 29th just to give us more time to start, but maybe there's a reason why we need to start on the 22nd. Any comments on it?
I say do the best thing for the project. So you clearly saying,
Be
you know what I
safe.
mean? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I
The
appreciate
more
that.
prep time, the more perfect it'll be. So if you need that extra 1 week, to prep correctly and make sure, then I say let's do it on the 29th.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I'm Lionel Richie, man. Easy, man. Whatever day you want to do it, Frank, we can do it, baby.
Truly.
And like I said, I'm flexible as well. So I'm pretty much flexible. So
I really do like the 29th because there are a number of things. It's not just from the editing side, just me making sure that I have a a visual treatment that I think serves the story. But just to make sure that some of the story elements are really, really in place in terms of some of the developing. You know, there are some things about some of the characters that I just really want to make sure I take the time as we get into them to that those pop points are in place, and that characters are expressing certain things. So yeah, generally speaking, the more time, the better. I'm going to drop this link again in case, because I see we do have a spot. If we have someone who is in the cast who has not yet got a chance to join in because we were full, then you can use that link to pop up as well. And I think that the message that I got was from Frank. I don't think he said his phone died, so he might try to call in a little bit later. But yeah, his phone died on us.
Now Frank, I got another quick question.
Yep.
So I know a lot of us, we have our phones inside of the case and all of that. Mm-hmm. Would it help if we took it out of the case when we're trying to record, or?
No, I think most cases.
Would we still get the same sound?
I think you would. I think you get the same sound because most cases are built to not obstruct the mic in any way.
Okay.
So you're probably cool. The most important thing is having that phone somewhere positioned roughly 6 inches away, give or take 5, 7, roughly 6 inches away from.
And probably on a tripod, right? That would probably be ideal.
Right, ideal. Yeah, some way to affix the phone so that it's you don't have to touch it, you're not moving it around, and so it's on a tripod or some sort of stand would be definitely ideal if possible. Mm-hmm.
Frank, I'm going to head out.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to working with everyone and getting information and my backstory.
Yes.
Give it all to me, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Courtney.
I'll see y'all soon, and thanks again.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. All right, good stuff. All right, so yeah, I believe. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, we're good. So, so I believe we've covered a lot. I went back over, really kind of going over specifics, so that you have more of an idea of the kind of story that we're telling. We have a really good idea now. We know that we're going for Saturday evenings for the most part, generally speaking, and you have an idea of the way that we're going to go about it in terms of our approach. Performance days will be Saturdays. Days that you all get the scripts will be Mondays, more than likely, and that we will have a table read somehow incorporated into that process that I'll record. And looks like we might start. Looks like and I'll make it official when I send something out to y'all, but I'm leaning heavily towards the 29th of January being our first day. So that being said, it's just now going to be a matter of all of us, as much as we can, just talking about it, letting everybody know what's coming and going ahead and getting people to join the Life or Death YouTube. I'll go ahead and put that up here, subbing and hitting the bell so that they know when things are coming. I'm going to clip this up as well. I got my little banner here, and everybody knows the Life or Death YouTube anyway. You can just copy it, and I'll put this up here for that. Life or Death.
Hey, whatever day we start, man, it's going to be my birthday.
Okay, that'll work too. Okay.
That's good.
So yeah.
I'm a silly boy, man.
It's all good. It's all good. I like it. All right, so let me go through the chat. I haven't been able to and plus let me do a couple things here too. So I said I was gonna do these, copy these in. Any questions or comments as I do these last few? Yeah, let me do Uncle Stu. Those of you who are here, make sure that you like and sub all of these, everybody's YouTube channels. And I'll also put these in the
Uncle Stu,
go ahead.
no, I just want to say to Uncle Stu, I will, or if you could please put your email in the back panel, and we can set up something for you to interview me one-on-one if you want. And then that way I can even post some of the interviews regarding the life or death on my social media platforms as well. And Frank, I'm flexible with any and all time that you have. I know we still yet to have our one-on-one as well. So
yeah, we got to do that.
I have been seriously struggle streaming the whole time off and on here. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, we'll get a refresher. I'll get a refresher.
Absolutely. Uncle Stu, I think you're muted. I don't know if you're talking to us or you're offline, but you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. OG Patrice, it's in the back chat. It's in the private chat. Can you see it?
Okay.
Stu14Lou@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I'm putting these here, but I also want to put these. I'm going to put these I'm going to copy all these and put these in the description as well.
So you basically saying we can go ahead and start promoting from the night. Just go ahead,
Yes.
Go hand with it.
Yeah, please, because it's always going to help. The earlier the better that we start, and also there's absolutely no harm in getting people to subscribe to the Life or Death YouTube channel and going from there, because I'm going to be posting a number of things, and I'll reach out to you. Maybe there's an occasion where we can do something live on another live here on our channel as we lead up to it. You know, if it's not something not necessary, then we won't. But if something comes up, we might even do something again live before we start the official production.
And do you need me to also circle the 20? You said the 29th?
29th, no, because we won't your character. Of course, to tune in, absolutely.
Right.
But in terms of your character's performance, no. You'll be somewhere, I believe. I remember in our one-on-one, I think I told you week 7, something like that.
Week 7, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's when we'll do it. So you got plenty of time to lead up to it. And I think really you and I will be doing some talking beforehand so that you have plenty of time to really prepare what the message that we have for you will be. So yeah, we need to get to that pretty soon. But no, so your performance will be a little bit later in the show. Okay.
And and please have your sound person contact me. That way I can go ahead and really do this room, because this whole, I'm in a second bedroom. So bedroom became my studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to know if I gotta soundproof this whole room or what I gotta get.
It might be, yeah, we'll see. I'll definitely put you in. I think I like that idea, because they do work of the what did he call it?
He showed me a picture where it's over the mic, but I'm gonna probably have to take a photo of what I have. That way I know if I have to get a whole different mic stand in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I quickly saw was like, okay, I ain't gonna know how to attach all this stuff. So
got it. And this is the last one now. This is Courtney Lene is playing Caroline. Let's see. This is her Facebook as well. So she gave us her Facebook and her Instagram. So I posted all those. Please follow everybody. I appreciate you all taking the time to stay with us. If there are not any, let me double check here. Any questions from those of you who are still on the panel? Love y'all for staying here the whole time, as well as
I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going through the chat. Did anybody notice any questions in the chat? that I didn't get to because I wasn't really too into the chat all along. I'm kind of reading it now. Yeah, Ashley. Ashley's like, you're right. You're not needed till April. So Ashley's gonna be following along the whole time before your big day comes, Ashley. Let's see. Okay,
So
above
Frank, the script has the weeks on the script. Like when you pass the script out, it'll say a certain week on.
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
gonna
script.
definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna. What the my routine will be to you will get it the week before you go on. So like I'm not sending the full script out with the weeks that you are. Instead, you're gonna get your part of the script the week prior to when you go live. Okay, and I'm looking up because it looks like Sophia wants me to take a look at a question, but I don't see it. Sophia, if you can retype it, let me know. Because I'm just scanning and I don't see it.
Oh, well, you know what? And I also put my email in the private chat so that I could, just correspond with, all of the different people that's a part of the project.
Okay. Do you want me to share that on the main one, or you want me to just make sure everybody has it because I can do like a group email.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great.
You want me to go ahead and share it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do that now.
And Uncle Stu, I just emailed you.
Okay, everybody. I just copied in Vaughn the Great Bryant.
Oh yeah.
That's his
Yeah, I
Yahoo.
got it, Patrice.
Yahoo. Yeah, that's his Yahoo. So make sure you if you want to reach out directly to Vaughn, definitely send him an email.
Do that. I'd appreciate hearing from everyone, actually.
Okay. And so let me do this as well. Looks like I got an email. Okay, Mike Simmons. And then I'm going to get Ashley as well up on here. So right now I'm copying in. This is Mike Simmons. He's got 2 points of contact. He's got his YouTube. And he's got his Facebook page, Mike Simmons.
Mike Simmons, baby.
There we go. Both of these. Let me type that here too. Mike Simmons. There's above.
Yo, I can't wait. We're gonna have a blast.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have so much fun, guys. We're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait until we slowly. This is gonna be real interesting to see how people embrace it. Watching the audience grow over time. I'm really, really intrigued to see how that happens. I'm gonna go to my email. Ashley sent that to me. Okay, I'm copying them right now. So these are YouTube links for Ashley Jackson. If you guys remember, Ashley is playing the role of the 911 operator. She's gonna hit us with those smooth tones of that smooth voice.
Yeah.
Right here. These 2 are Ashley Jackson. All right. There we go. See, we left on that cliffhanger. Ashley's asking this question from the callbacks. I have a question. What is Bianca trying to tell her parents? We're going to find that out because everybody wants to know, especially Clarence, who's been asking that question over and over again for every callback. Right? Let's see.
Hey, Frank, I have a question. So you said we're not going to get our parts until a week before, our specific script for our parts until a week before.
Of what we're going to cover that week. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I got you.
that Monday before. Yeah, because it's not a lot when I'm, you know, cutting it up like this into 18 different parts, it's the, you know, dialogue is just not a lot at all. So it's definitely, you know, going to be in like seriously bite-sized chunks.
Okay.
So that Monday before, and I don't know if you were, because you were, like you said, you were in and out.
I
We're
was.
also going to do. Did you catch the part where I mentioned that we're going to do a table read like early in the week?
Yeah, I heard that part. I think I missed some earlier, but prior to that, but we can go over that in the 101.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm gonna send you an email, right? Unless you know right now, do you kind of know what your schedule is this week for that 101? Or do you want me to send
I'm
you an
open.
email?
Yeah, I'm open this weekend, or anytime after 3 p.m. My time, which is Mountain Standard Time.
Okay, so that's after 5 p.m. my time. So
Correct.
I'm gonna send you an email to try to go for tomorrow. I want to do it sooner than later. So I'm gonna try to go for something tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest.
Okay, sounds good. Just shoot me an email.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
Ashley, okay, yeah, Ashley's letting me know we good there. All right, guys, we're at the end. So I'm going to right now, before I lose this stream, go back to our private. I'm copying everything. I'm gonna put everyone's links and everyone's information that wanted to be shared in the description. So I'm gonna do that before we head out.
And don't forget to send all the stuff to promote, Frank.
Absolutely. Yeah, give me a day or two on that one too. But I'm gonna definitely get it out so that we can all jump right on it. There we go. All right, this is awesome. Thank y'all so much. Anything anybody else want to say before we go? Or are we on the tail end? We're looking good.
Well, I would just like to say again, you know, I really appreciate the opportunity, and I believe this is going to be a great, great, great project. And I'm just interested in seeing how it plays out.
Amen. All right, good stuff.
Peace, love, and light to all of you guys as well, and all of the flowers that are part of this project. I know we're gonna do some major things. We're gonna be pioneers, and let's set the world ablaze. Let's go.
Let's do it, Chef.
My last question.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am again honored to be working with the Emmy-winning filmmaker, Mr. Frank Gooden, and I look forward to working with everyone on the panel and the chat. And let's go to work. Let's do this. Let's give great promotion. Let's support each other. So you know, if I can help in any way, I'll put my email in the back chat as well. And the same go for Frank in any way that I can assist anybody, help with, you know, if you need to run your lines through with somebody on off time or things like that. You know, I think that's a great idea too for us to do as well, even when we're not doing like normal rehearsals. So yeah, if anybody is you know, interested in that, I'll put my email in the back chat. We can definitely you know, continue to support each other.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Absolutely. And that's 100% for me as well. You know, and that having that just that spirit of helping as much as we can across the board, whatever it is something I think we all can embrace. I see that let's see, Mike Simmons left your email, and I'll be looking for yours, Patrice. Just to put here, well, I already know it, but you know, when whatever the contact you want to use, I'll make sure that I copy that and can share that too. So
and
this
then my question.
Go ahead.
My question, Frank, is at a later time, who is whoever your graphic designer is? I would love to connect with that person to get something done. You know, not only for the film but also something private.
For you mean for this, what you've seen here with Life or Death or something else?
Yes. No.
Okay.
What I see here with Life and Death,
Mhm.
as well as maybe something private for me, because I would like something to be done as well. But I don't. But is it the lady that you said is in Asia that's doing it?
Yeah, she's back in she's back in South Korea now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Now that may be too high performing for me.
And we recently reconnected. That's a story too. It's kind of interesting because remember she did all of these illustrations several years ago now, and it's amazing that we reconnected. And so I don't have a someone that I work with now in terms of graphic design right now, but I mean I've reconnected with her, Human Part.
Okay.
And at some point I'm going to bring her on and get a chance to kind of let her tell her own story from her own perspective of working with this as well. So you never know if you want to leave that option open at some point in the future to work with her. She's an extremely talented illustrator.
Okay, excellent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I see your stuff, Patrice. I'm gonna put that back here too.
Okay. Did Frank? I don't know if I missed it. Did you mention anything? Because I heard you early when you first came on mention about contact. Was that anything regarding Miss Michelle or anything that I missed that you covered tonight?
I made reference of it, and that's something I'm going to talk about specifically a little bit later. But I just let everybody know that was we made a nice little contact with that, and I'm looking forward to where that leads. But I'm going to shore things up with her first.
Okay, all right.
That was an amazing contact. Thank you, Patrice.
Oh, awesome! You're welcome. No problem.
Amazing, and I'm loving this energy.
Hey, so I want to tell everybody have a good night. I gotta jump off real quick, but Frank, man, you got everything you need, man. Just holler at me.
Will do. I know you all over it, bro. I have no doubt. None.
Y'all be cool, man. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna send a last message to Uncle Stu. Uncle Stu,
sir,
you are a man. You are a man's man, all right? And for the women that know better, you are a woman's man, okay? You're a dad, you're all of that, you're unc. And I just want you to understand, regardless of who you've ever seen me stand beside, I have never had anything but the utmost of reverence, deference, and respect for you, my brother. So don't ever get it twisted. Proximity causes some things. You understand?
Yes, sir.
With me and you, love is love, and I appreciate you. And 2022 needs you. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Peace, love, and
thank you. Thank you. We'll be down. We'll be down in Georgia as soon as we can get some of these COVID numbers down.
Listen, if you see any black video, you know you're gonna eat good rocking with me, man. Do a little karaoke and all of that. Just holler at me. Yeah.
Just know that we vegans up here, so you know we gotta do the vegan meals.
Hey, I got the tofu, the smoked tofu hookup out here too. So
all right, that'll work.
That's what's up. Okay, everybody, this is awesome. All right, well, we're gonna leave it on that final note from Chef Beautiful. So I'll say just be on the lookout for more information from me, and we'll plan something together. We're stepping forward in this, and with all due faith in what the Lord has for us. And I've add my voice to this chorus. So I do believe this is going to be a great thing we're doing together. So appreciate each of y'all. I'm gonna bring up my outro. For those of you in the chat, hey, really everybody, shout out to Sophia as well for holding down the moderating and supporting in every way she can. Really everybody else in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the outro up. And as always, type a little something on your way out and let everybody know that Team Life or Death is coming. All right, y'all.
It's peace and blessings to everyone. And again, thank you, Chef Shapino. That was really good. Thank you.
Yes, peace to the panel, peace to Frank, peace to the chat, and we are Team Life and Death.
See
ya.